Hello students, in this lecture video I'll be discussing about organisms and population. So firstly, let us understand what ecology is. It is a branch of biology which deals with the biotic and abiotic factors, that is their interaction for survival. There are 4 levels of these biological organisms, which is the biotic factor, living component. Populations, the sum total of all individuals. Communities is assemblage of all these populations, and biomes, they are the largest unit which consists of major vegetation type, associated fauna like tropical rainforest, deciduous forest. Next, let us look at the terms which are used in ecology. Ecosystem, like just now we discussed, ecology is that branch which studies actually ecosystem, organisms and their environment, biotic and abiotic components interacting with each other. Habitat, it refers to a specific location where different physical features, different communities develop. Niche actually, or ecological niche, represents the space which is occupied by a particular organism. It takes into consideration the resources it utilizes as well as the functional role of that particular organism in that ecological system. Biosphere, on the other hand, means you can say the whole of the ecosystems together, which are there on the Earth planet, constituting of all life forms. Next, let us understand how these biomes are distributed on our planet, because these biomes are the largest unit which are found in the different ecological organization. It is formed due to annual variations in temperature and also in precipitation, rainfall. Major biomes you can see in this graphical representation. It is desert, grassland, rainforest and tundra. Here distribution of biome is being shown, the mean annual temperature and on the basis of mean annual precipitation. So we can see in Arctic and alpine tundra the annual temperature is very less and even rainfall is less. Next, talking about tropical forests. Here the mean annual temperature is the highest and the mean annual precipitation is also the highest. Let us look at the abiotic factors in this lecture video. First is temperature. Now temperature varies from one region to another. If we talk about from equator to poles or from plains to mountain tops, that is the variation. It decreases. Then in polar areas and high altitudes, it varies like from sub-zero levels, and in tropical deserts more than 50 degrees Celsius. So there are a variety of organisms which can tolerate wide range of temperature called as euthermal organisms, and organisms that can tolerate a narrow range of temperature. Those are stenothermal organisms. Next abiotic factor is water. Any place, any geographical area, its productivity, its distribution is dependent on the quality of water. Mainly the pH, the salinity, even the temperature of water is important. Now salt concentration is seen as salinity in parts per thousand. These are important figures you should remember. For inland waters less than 5, sea 30 to 35, hypersaline lagoons more than 100. Euryhaline organisms can tolerate wide range, again wide range, steno, strict, narrow range of salinities. Next, coming to light, it also plays a very important role specifically for autotrophs which have to perform photosynthesis. Many small plants, they can be overshadowed by tall plants, so they have to optimize their photosynthesis under low light conditions. Even light plays important role in flowering. Depending on the photoperiod requirement, the amount of sunlight which is required, they will flower at that particular time. Even for animals, the photoperiod has a role to play in their reproductive and migratory activities. Even they have to go for foraging, search of food. That is also dependent on light intensity. So you can say that availability of light is also linked with the temperature, because sun is the source of light and sun is also the source of increasing temperature. Now UV component, some of the UV components are also harmful for many organisms. Next, let us look at the last abiotic factor, that is soil. Now, quality of soil means the pores, the water holding capacity. It is determined by what soil is composed of, what is the grain size, how it is aggregated, and the nature and properties of soil also depends on the weathering process, because during the process of soil formation there are variety of rocks which undergo weathering process. Then climate, whether the soil is sedimentary, it is metamorphic. So how the soil development has occurred will also determine the type of flora and fauna which is residing over there. So vegetation, it depends on what parameters? Percolation, water holding capacity, pH, obviously, the salinity varies. There are stenohaline and euryhaline organisms. What minerals or nutrients, and what is the nature of the soil, the grain size, soil composition, that is topography. So in the aquatic environment, in the sediments, that is at the lowest portion, it will determine what type of bottom zone animals, benthic animals, can survive over there.